Hey, folks, this is Brian Blessing. Hope you're enjoying the Hockey Betting Podcast. We have a couple chuckles, try to get you a lot of winners. If you like what you're hearing, hit the subscribe button, give us a review, give us a rating. Most importantly, enjoy the hockey and keep coming back to the Hockey Betting Podcast.
You're listening to the Hockey Betting Podcast, presented by BetChrisCanada.net. This is the Hockey Betting Preview for Wednesday, January 22nd, 2020. And now, live from Las Vegas, the host of the Hockey Betting Podcast, Brian Blessing.
All right, kids, here we go. Another edition of the Hockey Betting Podcast with just a couple games remaining. Then we get the All-Star break, and we'll be back with you again on Friday. We'll really give midseason grades out. I think there's some real defined opportunities on the wagering board in terms of how the games are going to be played. A couple of teams with real opportunities, then the trade deadline. There's a lot on the docket, and I think you can, generically formulate a strategy as a starting point. We'll dive into all that stuff. Brian Blessing in Las Vegas. Cam Stewart. He is in. How do we do this? I mean, do I just cut the chase?
Suburbs of Toronto, Mississauga. I don't care. I know, but it's like. Right?
I know. I mean, but because factually, we want to be factual. You're in Mississauga.
Correct. Correct.
And technically, it is a suburb of Toronto.
Yeah.
But if I say, and Cam is in the suburbs of Toronto, it's like, you're sitting there, please pass the Grey Poupon and drinking coffee with your pinky out.
Trust me, buddy. There's no Grey Poupon where I live, man.
You just slather it on. I'm a meat eater, baby.
Lock your doors. Yeah, there's a lot more crack fiends around my area lately. They like loose change in cars. Lock your doors.
Well, the moral of the story, don't get a car.
Yeah, good point, Brian. Good point. But I need to get around. But anyway, what do we got going on here? We got a couple games. Not too friendly. Looks like lots of juice, extra pulp here in these battles.
Oh man! Well, by the way, lesson learned.
We've been doing
no. We knocked it out. Knocked it out yesterday.
Yeah, we had. You had good call
with one exception.
And then we had Chicago took a shot with the over. Yeah. Other than the Winnipeg Jets, we swept the board last night. One push. I had the Islanders over at 6, and that ended 4-2.
All right. After 4 years, many years, these 4 years. You know what? We joke about it's a real thing. The dad's trip is a real thing, right? I mean, we've been printing money with the dad's trip for 4 years, all right? The mom's trip is a complete zilch, all right? Now, the moms were with Winnipeg, last night in the first 10 minutes of that game.
Because the mums aren't as hardcore. It's like,
that's exactly.
You played well.
Honey,
you go get them next time. Want to go out for brunch? Yeah. Dad trips like, let's get beers. You were horrible out there.
Yeah, what were you doing? What the hell were you thinking? Exactly. The mom's trip. Oh, honey, you got a nick on your face. The mom's trips is a zilch.
The mom's still on the Jets trip? Oh, God.
It's the back end of the mom's trip.
Oh, boy. The Jets were horrible against Carolina.
Okay. Maybe they made him chunky soup this morning.
Yeah, that's right. I love you, son. Here's a big bowl of chunky. Yeah, one night.
Those commercials annoy me. Here's Saquon. You got get off the field, Mom.
I wouldn't be laying 192 with Columbus, even though they're a good team. Like now the books realize it. Like that's the number it should be, I guess. And Winnipeg is capable of beating anybody anytime, Brian. The question is when. So this looks like a very tough game. I'm very surprised at the total, 5.5. I know Columbus can play but Winnipeg, Winnipeg's not scoring. That's kind of the problem, right?
No, it's Elvis is on a heater.
All I'll do is make saves.
Guys coming in on a breakaway. Blue Christmas.
Don't be cruel. Put it in my glove. I'm going to save it. I'm going to hit your blocker side. Yeah,
no, Elvis, but I don't know. Is this
Elvis skinny? Is great.
Is this skinny Elvis or fat Elvis?
No, he's kind of medium Elvis. He looks pretty good with the equipment on. I'll tell you one thing: this guy's taken the league by storm, and maybe they did something when they got rid of Bobrovsky. I didn't even know these guys knew what they had with Elvis, but man, he's good.
928 save percentage, 236 goals against. The one thing is, it is the mom's trip. And, Laurent Brossoit has a mommy too. So it's Brossoit tonight, and he's 885 save percentage, goals against 367. I probably lean over, I guess.
Yeah, if at 5.5, you could take a shot with the over. I really want to take Winnipeg in this spot, coming off a bad loss, but it's tough to do. But yeah, this is a tough one, Brian. It'll be a small unit play. I'll probably take another shot with the dog, the team that cost us a beautiful, still a plus night, but a brilliant night, and 5.5 looks low.
All right. And then I'm just checking here. Minnesota's 260.
Minnesota's going to be angry, Detroit, too, because...
here's let me ask you, bud. There's two ways.
I bet Florida against them. I got that one right. 5-4. They scored with like 5 seconds left in that game.
This game is a nightmare because at first blush, I'm thinking they're so lucky that they don't play until the end of the All-Star break. They got a 4-3 lead the other night. They give the Red Sea opening for Trocheck comes in, and the horrible defensive breakdown, and then he just a flip shot you'd have caught with your teeth, and what's his name? Stalock lets it in.
Yeah.
And so now the game's tied. And then, literally, it's like getting your head lopped off your shoulders. They get a tip-in goal with 4.8 seconds left. They don't get a point. If you saw those guys, Cam, honestly, it was like a truck ran over everybody. And they should be mad. And they're already sitting here. They'd won 2 in a row. They were playing great, but they won 7-0. They lost 5-4. I'd probably go over the total. Bernier's the goalie. I don't trust Minnesota. That is one of the most devastating losses you can have. It's almost like that's a season-ending loss. That's how bad that was. Like you're going, oh my God.
I know.
They kind of got back in the discussion a little bit.
But the thing is, Brian, we're professionals. They got to shake it off. We've all had times, you're playing a sport, you get absolutely killed at the end of the game. They had no reason to lose the game they do. You got to man up. You're playing the Detroit Red Wings. This is a perfect time. You step up and go, this is a team that we should absolutely destroy. The over as well. I'm not going to – 270 seems like a lot, but Minnesota against Detroit, I don't know what Detroit's going to do. These guys, I guess they showed a little bit of battle against the Avalanche, losing 6-3. They scored the first goal in the game, but I got to believe Minnesota comes back and wins. They still have personal pride. I know it hurts, but you got to get back on that horse because you can't afford to lose another one.
No, I get personal pride, but that's just, that was devastating. Literally, Cam, it was just, go for it, kiddo. Obviously I'd never lay that. It'd be puck line or nothing, but honestly, for a Flyer, Detroit's going to win a game or 2 or 3 or 4 somewhere the rest of the season down the road. And this may be a good spot for them because Minnesota is the area is out of, first of all, my best friend, Willard.
Yeah. Willard. Why is he a Wild fan?
No, Willard has a hot air balloon. He really does.
Okay.
And
so what do we do with this hot air balloon?
Well, I don't know, but for 30 years, he's been trying to get me to go up in a hot air balloon, and I'm like, grab your ass. I'm not going up in that thing.
I'm not. You wouldn't catch it.
You'd have to so Minnesota's hot air balloon, is in flames right now.
It is. I don't know, man. It's hard to take Detroit. But you're right. Maybe like they showed some battle against Colorado. Plus 220 is a nice price. I got to be honest with you. The Minnesota Wild, minus 270. They're not a great hockey team. They've been playing better in spurts, but yeah. If you like Minnesota, you have to put it in a parlay to the plus. You can't lay that number. That's just stupid.
Yeah, well, there's only 2. So, sometimes being on the sideline is not a bad thing. I'd probably lean to the safer of the 2 is the Winnipeg Columbus over, and I can see I don't know. The Minnesota game, that is just a weird one. That's just stay away. Those guys, and the rub with these 2 games is all these guys, they're like, what did we do? Did we lose a bet? Why do we got to play tonight? Everybody's already on break.
Yeah, exactly.
Half of these guys, the single guys, this is the rub when you get one of these things. the single guys, 6 or 7 of them are going to hop on a plane and go to Cancun.
Yeah.
I mean, their heads are already on vacation.
For sure. They got their bags packed after these games. That's the thing. So I guess the moral of that story is if you think both teams are going to be checking out, you take the dog, right?
Yeah, I mean, they're just scary games. I'd probably lean totals, but we're not giving it. Well, if you fire with confidence if you want. I would think
over.
Do they do a salami for 2 games? I mean, do they make
do
they make a slider?
Yeah, it's special salami. Special.
Will the butcher make a small slider?
Small salami. He's not. You're not feeding 20 here. Let's take a look. The salami.
You'd say, give me. You'd say, well, give me 2 of them.
Oh yeah.
Well, then it's like, hey, dumbass, why did you just order a sub? Why did you get 2
4
sliders?
I want a whole damn prosciutto on my back, buddy. I don't.
I mean, that's the guy. That's the guy that orders, 3 quarter-pounders with cheese and a Big Mac, 2 large order of flies, and the apple pie thing, and then at the end looks at the guy and says, "And give me a Diet Coke."
Exactly. Does this look like a man who had all he could eat too, Brian? I used to do the $20 burger bag. Anyway, salami's being offered. We're offering it at the butcher shop. Salami, 11.5. It's 11.5 for these games. So that's that's what it is. One total 6, 1 5.5. Over.
Well,
over.
Maybe that's safer than one game's a 6-4 game, the other's a 3-2 game. You're laughing.
I like the salami. Yes, I'll take over 11.5, please.
All right, so we made it to the All-Star break. Figure the trades will be kicking in. Friday we'll come back and we'll revisit a bunch of stuff. I think there are some teams you can. You'd be proud of me, buddy. I mean,
proud of you for what? You stop drinking or smoking?
I don't drink very much anymore.
Actually, you don't.
I don't drink.
You go vodkas, but you're right. You're not a drinker.
I don't drink.
You're more of a
I bought a case of beer last. I guess it was last Thanksgiving,
and it's still there.
No, a year ago. This is like I get Thanksgiving for people if anybody's coming over. Unfortunately, I don't like people, so that was not a But that case of beer lasted till Easter.
Oh my God!
I don't drink at home.
Beer for me. I
don't drink at home. I drink on the golf course.
Yeah. That's where you get. Yeah,
I pull the hollow leg out on the golf course. By the way, Saturday, 70 degrees playing golf. Finally, it is the All-Star break. All right, so we're looking at. While you were proud of me, I did Toronto radio last night.
Oh, nice.
Well, big deal, but. The guy says to me, "So, okay, well, tell me about the Leafs." And I'm like, "Do you really want this answer?"
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm like, the defense is a dog's breakfast, and everybody's going bonkers about these guys. Listen, you make the coaching change with the Keefe thing, and the minute that happened, and I went and looked, and we said it on this little ordeal. I said, look at their schedule, man. They played the dregs of hockey.
Know. Yep,
and they go on a big heater, and
they played Detroit. They played.
Oh my God, Detroit and Ottawa, and on and on and on it went. And now the defense was bad to begin with, and now you got Riley and Muzzin out, and these guys are 4-3-3 in their last 2, and some of those points they were picking up were miracle garbage. Pulling the goalie and getting a point.
Yep.
I am not penciling Toronto in the playoffs.
I know
everybody thinks they are a gut cinch. Let me tell you something. Florida is making a push, and there's talent there. And honestly, as crazy as it sounds, they're only 6 points behind them. But Buffalo comes back with 9 of 10 at home, and I think it's like 13 of 15 or something ridiculous at home. And Buffalo's 14-6-3 at home. Their season is flat. They are literally coming out of the gate, and they are either out of here or they are back in the discussion, and they've been terrific at home, and they're going to get Skinner and Olsen back. So I'm just saying the Toronto thing, I don't know, buddy. They're no gut cinch to make the playoffs.
No, they're not, but I got to believe with the talent that they have up front, they're going to find a way, Brian. It's not going to be easy. I get it. And Riley's out for a long time. This is not just a day-to-day thing.
Well, he's
been gone
weeks.
for a while. Yeah, that's a problem. It is
But Anderson's got to step up his game.
I know,
and we've been talking about he's been so-so.
Yes, he has been so-so. What does this team do at the break? I don't know what they're going to have to do, but if they believe they want to save the season, they're going to have to mortgage a little bit of the future and get another blue liner. I don't know if
they've known that
from the Kings or somebody else.
Well, they knew that, but they knew that for 2 years, right? So last year, okay, I get you were putting a Band-Aid on a jugular
with Muzzin. Yeah,
when you get Muzzin.
I know he's not the answer. They don't know. There's no depth there. I get it. Half of they're already playing with guys from the Marlies, Brian. I know it's a problem, but I also think it's up to guys like Tavares to step up. You're supposed to be one of the NHL's best guys. Matthews and Marner are doing that. Like, I expect when is John Tavares, like, it's time for you to take over a game, bud. That's a guy that I'd like to see a step up his game a little bit more and play angrier. I'm very disappointed. When you watch him on a night-by-night basis, it's like, you could do better.
We'd like to thank BetChrisCanada.net for their support of the Hockey Betting Podcast. I'm Brian Blessing in sunny Las Vegas.
And I'm Cam Stewart in cold Toronto, Canada.
If you love hockey and you're in Canada, and Cam is, by the All-Star break, even if you can't stop thinking about taking a vacation someplace sunny and warm, but you don't want to miss out on any of the hockey action, look for a BetChris near your next holiday destination.
BetChris is one of the leading sports books in the Western Hemisphere, with hundreds of sports betting locations throughout the Caribbean and Latin America.
Watch the game at a BetChris location. Food and drink specials and VIP lounges are available at many BetChris locations. Use the promo code PODCAST when you open your BetChris account.
Place some bets on your game and collect your cash at the window when the game is over.
BetChris offers single bets, parlay bets, teasers, and more on pregame and live odds for hockey and all your favorite Canadian and American sports leagues. And BetChris offers a variety of team and player props, including futures.
BetChris offers the best value odds on Canadian and international sports. Use the promo code PODCAST when you open up your account at a BetChris location. Deposit $750 or more and get up to a 40% reduced commission on your sports bets, up to -106 on single bets and parlay bets. That's the best juice in the biz.
So, if you're planning a trip to exotic locations from the Caribbean and Mexico to Peru and almost everywhere in between, the odds are very good. There's a BetChris sportsbook where you're going on holiday. For more information about visiting a BetChris location while you're on holiday, or to listen to or subscribe to the Hockey Betting Podcast, visit BetChrisCanada.net. That's BetChrisCanada.net. Cam, you're Canadian. When you leave Canada and you're heading south, use the promo code PODCAST. I got to add, there were two things, and thankfully the one guy fixed it. I mean, the ears on Markstrom's face mask was just...
Oh, yeah, the Hobbit ears?
That was jarring. The other thing is it just me, when you're watching these games, when you watch the Leafs game, it's like, you know, the professional hockey team, I mean, they've got their own team jet, the Molson Entertainment, they got all kinds of... Can't you get Nylander a helmet that fits? You look at that thing. I mean, it's like, is the kid's head swelling during the game?
Yeah, it's kazoo. Yeah,
it's like a kazoo. It's Mark Kelso.
Oh, Fred, are you going to bowl a 300 tonight? Oh, okay, I'll try, Greg Kazoo. It feels that way. No, that kid,
I mean, kid's coming in on a breakaway and the opposing goalie's going, you get a free bowl of soup with that hat.
That organization, I'm never going to be working for these guys anyway. I think it's a train wreck. They got the same things going on, the same stupid song. After a goal, they play Hall & Oates. Like, it's so stupid. Like, it's just, I guess they want to be like super friendly family atmosphere, but it really ruins it. I think, like, I would like to make it a lot more of a hardcore type of thing, but that would never happen.
Yeah, that's the league.
It's just soft. It's just soft. It's soft. But
anyway,
what are you going to do? That's why I don't go to the rink that much and spend $500. I can watch.
Well, real family friendly. Yeah, let's take little Billy to the game.
Yeah.
The problem is, you can't. All the kids going to eat the next 3 weeks are Flintstone vitamins.
Exactly, they're going to eat Flintstone vitamins.
All right, Billy, did you enjoy? Have you heard of
Wiener's Kraft Dinner and ramen? That's what we got on the table for the next 4 weeks. God,
that's right. Billy, did you enjoy the Leafs game? Yeah. What's for dinner tonight, Mom? Well, we're having hot peanut butter and jelly tonight.
Yeah, exactly. Give the kids an onion sandwich, whatever's left over in the fridge. Goulash. No, I'm with you, man. It's a joke, but whatever. I go a few times a year. My buddy Vince, who you'll meet at the Super Bowl party, we buy ticket packages. Usually go to like the Oilers game with McDavid.
How much is a beer?
Beer, it depends. Regular beers, about $11. A big one that I like to drink, 20. So I probably have about 5 a game. Yeah, I'm dropping $100 on beers. Great.
Honestly, that's not. I mean, it is, but comparatively speaking, it's not hideous.
It's horrible.
I mean, they have a tall beer here in Vegas. I think it's $16. It's like, what the hell?
I know.
I mean, you're already gouging your eyeballs out to go to the game. I mean,
that's what I like about the Atlanta Falcons at Mercedes-Benz. Like, the guy's loaded, but they have like a $5 menu for food and stuff like that.
Yeah, but you can't get Chick-fil-A at the game.
What?
You can't get Chick-fil-A at the game.
Who cares?
I mean, how's that for a great concept? Hell, we got this brand new stadium. All right, we're going to put a Chick-fil-A in there. Great, except Chick-fil-A's not open on Sunday.
Exactly.
I
saw a report in Buffalo. It's kids, I love chicken. Like, they do like those streeters at W4 New York, Buffalo. This kid was just plowing chicken. I guess some guy came back from the south to open up a Chick-fil-A in Buffalo or whatever. God, people were going wild. There was lineups there. Anyway,
I think I saw that. What was the kid's name? I think it was. I think it was Sal. Sal Manella.
Yeah. That kid was going wild, though, man. There was the clip. I love chicken. Like, he was just, I'm like, whoa, this kid's fired up.
Well, clearly it's the All-Star break.
It is the All-Star break. What else do we got going on?
Well, I tell you what, let's just, generally speaking, let's do this, and we'll put a lid on this, and we'll come back Friday, maybe identify some teams. I mean, we just, a little blurb there on the Sabres and the Leafs. See what's going on in the West. The Pacific Division's a dog's breakfast. I mean, it's terrible. But literally, you've thrown a blanket out there, and you've let Winnipeg and Chicago get back in the discussion simply because the Pacific Division's so ordinary. So we'll identify some of those teams. But the one thing we always know, Cam, the tenor of the games will change. They'll become more defensive in posture.
For sure.
Gradually. But the 6.5s, they're going to start going by the boards. You're going to start seeing a lot more 6s, I believe.
I agree with that too. And no, even take a look at the Pittsburgh Philadelphia game. I told my buddy, it's like, these guys don't necessarily get together and play those 7-6 games where everyone's pounding each other, hitting guys with sticks, like 2-0 game. And that was in a rivalry game. So I think teams are going to be really tightening up, and you got to pick your spots. There's still going to be some games where, things get out of control, a couple quick goals, and it opens up. But I'm with you. I think I would be looking at a lot more unders early on, and then we'll adjust as be. But, I don't blindly bet these 6.5s. I know a lot of these guys, I see their picks like always over. I go, do you ever take an under? Like, once in a while, you got to take an under. Look, the Vegas game, it stayed under. Luckily, you got the first period there, Brian, but the Philadelphia game went under. So you're not just going to take these games to be 7 goals in them now. And I think the books will adjust.
Right. I mean, and the funny thing is, that's the beauty of the first period, because you could play a first period over. And even if you think it's an under game, because the reality of that particular bet is, yes, the style of the game could be low scoring in nature. But the bottom line is, at the beginning of games, somebody's got to get the lead, so they actually go for it in the first period and then make adjustments.
You got it, brother. No, that's the thing. And if you're going to take those first period bets, remember before it was like -1.5. Now it's like -1.5, 45-50. That's fine. Don't fall into these traps when these trends went on. You talked about it before. -1.5, -240. That's just stupid, because eventually those things are not going to happen again. It's dumb to lay that type of juice. Pick your spots with it, and you could still hit it. You hit it in the Vegas-Boston game last night. It was great.
Now,
and I'll tell you, there should have been about 5 goals, and the Fleury stood on his head. No offense to Vegas. I watched that game on the Bruins broadcast. Like, Vegas got totally outplayed in that game. Like, they could have lost by
their defense, man.
They're awful, man.
Their defense is they're going to make a big trade.
Our teams have the same problems. The Leafs and Vegas have the same problem. Their defense blows. Both of them need to make – I don't know, and other franchises know this. So come trade deadline, if the Leafs say, hey, we want this, and Vegas goes, we want that guy, it's like, how many draft picks are you guys going to give us? It might be too much for you just to say, suck it. It's this year, we're not going to go as far as we should go, because
Vegas is a unique animal in that they pulled the pin on the Gallant grenade, and you've got a 2 at, let's say, three, but let's cut to the chase. This year and next year, you've got a real window, technically, with a goalie, if he steps up his game, is capable of making a run. And they've mortgaged they really have. I mean, all the assets they had from the expansion draft are gone.
Yeah.
And so they're in let's go for it now mode. And if you go to the trade deadline 2 years ago, they went bonkers at going after Carlson. Last year they got Stone. They have been the big player on the trade deadline the last 2 years, and there's no reason to think, and it's going to shock some people. I mean, it could be a March or so. It could be a Tuck or a Carlson, because they got to get a difference maker on the blue line.
I'm going to tell you this, Brian. If they don't, this is just my prediction, all this good mojo and all the good stuff that you had like ramping up with this team, I expect them to be a franchise, like a mediocre franchise moving forward. Like this magic that you have, you better sustain it now through the trade deadline. I would say it's more important for your team over any other team in the league, because I could see Vegas just becoming a regular hockey team now.
Well, it is a regular. No, it already is.
That's my point. I'm just saying
it already is. The fans are in love with them.
Yeah.
But they got the punch to the gut with the welcome to the NHL. With the fictitious major last year.
Yeah.
And now the coach got gassed, and the fans are all upset about that. And like, well, welcome to the league. I mean, this is
exactly.
I mean, I tell this story, and then people go, "Really?" I'm the first year I'm doing the Sabres broadcast. It's the year I'm coming in, and in the off season, Ted Nolan won Coach of the Year.
Yeah, he did.
John Muckler was the NHL Executive of the Year. Their general manager. And they gas-canned both of them in the offseason because they couldn't get along, and the room was splintered. Half the players like the GM, half the players like the coach, and that's a bad recipe. So people are going, oh, my God, they fired Glenn. It's like, yeah, well, you're not behind closed doors. And, who knows what goes down, but it's and the players are kind of semi in shock. And then you come – here's the thing, bud. I would just say to you, for them – have they fixed anything? They beat Ottawa. That was Ottawa at the time. Ottawa's 9 straight loss. They came back from the grave because Montreal was stupid with and blew a 4-2 lead.
Yeah,
the goalie pulled twice.
Lost to Boston.
Scandella, pooped himself. It was ridiculous. He's got the puck. He's got all the time in the world. Pass it up the wall to a guy, and he shoots and ices the puck, and Vegas scores. Then you come in. They played a good game against Boston, but they come up short. But Cam, they come back from the break, and now you got the coach going to start tweaking things and all this other stuff, and you're coming off a layoff, and they go right back east, and they're playing Carolina, where Fleury's going to be suspended because he's not going to the All-Star game. So you're going to have Subban against Carolina. Carolina's on a heater, and then you got to play Tampa, Florida, and Nashville. This is a grisly stretch for them.
And also, if people don't remember, that's a revenge game for Nashville, who Vegas scored with 0.2 seconds or whatever to win that game. So Nashville's going to be in a bad mood that game too. That's a horrible schedule for them. They'll be lucky to win a game in those games. To win one.
But it's funny. I mean, you got to look at the schedule. By the way, let's wrap it up here. Because you and I, we can talk. We love this stuff. We could. But January 29th, must-see TV. It's not going to be on the 29th. But it's going to be, and unfortunately for you, you're going to be somewhere over North Dakota when this happens. All right, it's Edmonton, host Calgary, Wednesday, January 29th. Then back-to-back nights, Saturday night, the Flames are at home, and you'll be flying during that game. But the Tkachuk thing with Cassian, the league's going to go there, and they'll babysit them the first game. Right? So and all the hype, and they'll be like lambs. I'm telling you, the game in Calgary, honestly, you should go. Go to Niagara Falls, get one of those Made of the Mist windbreakers, just in case blood starts flying into the stands.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. No, hey, I'm on Cassian's side there. Tkachuk, he's a good player, but he's a little prick. And somebody's going to put him in his place, and that's one of the things. Both of those hits were pretty dirty, and you want to play that game. We talked about the instigator. Well, you got to pay the piper, man. And I got no problem with Cassian kicking his ass, as well he should have.
By the way, artist. Let's leave it on a happy note. You want a happy note?
Sure.
I mean, we tease the league about a lot of things, but the game, the sport, the players.
Oh, it's great.
The toughness. I mean, we love it. It's
so
our
much
favorite
respect
thing.
for it.
And you know what? The best thing about our traditions. And there were two. One last night, and the kid's had a nice season. He's a rookie defenseman. He's figures away, and he's hit a bunch of posts. And they've been talking about, when's the poor kid going to get his first goal? Like, it doesn't matter. He's on the blue line, but Vegas can't score from the blue line. But Nick Hague on the power play, fires home a slap shot and scores his first goal. And the kid's reaction was priceless. And then the tradition, Chandler Stevenson races to the net. You get the puck for the kid. I mean, that kind of stuff is beautiful. It's the beautiful thing of the sport. And I will, let's throw one out, because the refs, we carve them like a Christmas ham for a lot of stuff. The thing Wes McCauley did in the game in Ottawa, and I know we're a few days late to the party on this, but where the Tkachuk brothers are playing against each other, and the opening lineups put in two, I don't know who they were, two centers are in there, and the referee throws both guys out of the face of his own accord, throws both guys out of the face-off so the brothers would take the opening face-off. You got to admit, that is pretty cool.
No, it's great. No, that's the thing we love about hockey. The traditions are great, and I'll tell you, I know they go long, but I'm not a Montreal Canadiens fan, but damn, do I have respect for their franchise. And when they retire, like an old player there, it gets emotional for me. Like, these guys get it, and they really, really pay attention to detail, and it's beautiful. Like, they do it right. And that's the thing we like about it. No, the history behind it is great. But yeah, we'll say a lot of positives. There's a lot of things moving upward. People are into the game now. Now the Southwest with Vegas, Seattle's going to be there too, right? And finally, Vancouver will have another team. They don't have to just go down to San Jose and Vegas and LA. Brian, there's a lot of positive things on the horizon. I just think sometimes just the All-Star break, some things, we just need a little bit of tweaking, and everything will be great. And hopefully one day we'll just have a 3-on-3 overtime and get rid of the shootout. That's
please.
Dream. That's my dream, but we'll have to wait for that one.
No, and I'm with, okay, yeah, that's great. That's a great dream. I like that dream. My dream is one place 16 in the playoffs. Oh yeah,
and
that's my dream.
Yeah, I love your dream too. Your dream's actually, I think, would happen first. Do you think
it's for the good of the league?
It is for the good of the league. And you can meet different guys. And don't talk to me about fuel costs and whatever. We can get it done. I'm with you. 160.
Well, maybe you just need some guy to come out of his shell and do something about it. So, let's say, let's say Colorado wins the Western Conference Final, right?
Yep.
Is it McKinnon or Landeskog as the captain?
I think it is Landeskog. Is it not?
I'm not sure. Now let's pick somebody we know.
Sorry. You think it'd be McKinnon, but it might be Landeskog. Hold on. I don't know.
It's a moot point. Pick a team. Okay, here we go. This would settle the issue. Pittsburgh makes a glorious run, and they win the Eastern Conference Final, right? They're going to the Stanley Cup Final, and Bill Daly's standing there at center ice. Okay, the players are all there, and they call Sidney Crosby over, and he has something behind his back. You think he's bringing a stick over, and he gets there, and he pulls a mallet out, and he just smashes the Eastern Conference trophy. 1 versus 16.
It's Landeskog, by the way. We were right.
I didn't think it was McKinnon.
I know McKinnon's a name. Yeah.
Do you like them? I think honestly, I would.
Colorado? Definitely. Definitely. I'll tell you one thing too.
Would you make them the favorite in the West? I would.
I probably would. I'll tell you one thing. Like these little signings, like Kadri. Look at the Leafs since Kadri left too. He's not going to blow up anything, but he's a gritty, perfect type of player that you need in the playoffs. I really like the way Colorado put their team together. You got Landeskog, you got McKinnon on the back end. Makar, like they're Grubauer's picked it up. They got a great backup in Francouz now, right? Like Colorado is lethal. If they made one extra addition, oh man, I don't even know what to say. Yes, I definitely would.
Sakic has done a hell of a job with that team, going all the way back to the Duchesne thing. Yeah,
love Joe Sakic. Loved him when he played, and he's done a great job with this franchise.
All right, buddy. Well, listen, we'll be back Friday, and then it'll officially be the
break time.
The break, and we'll get to. Watch guys skating around pylons going, boy, is he fast. Exactly. Oh, what time is that on TV? What time is that? Oh, wait a minute. There's a Gilligan's Island marathon? I'll watch that.
It's a trade. Hey, but I'll tell you something. If we can find some betting lines or whatever, I'll bet on anything. I told you, I bet on 2 hamsters, 2 turtles, whatever. If it moves, we can bet on it, Brian. That's the beautiful thing.
Well, all right. Well, I'll tell you what. We'll wrap it up with this. I've always said this about the Olympics, and it's kind of a common sense thing. I mean, do you like figure skating?
I love it. Yeah.
Do you really?
Yeah, I got no problem with it. Yeah, especially women's figure skating. It's beautiful.
Well, my wife refuses. I don't
like the mixes much. More ladies. It's just
elegant. I don't like the ice dancing. It's like, really?
No, I don't want to watch some dude do it, but
my wife refuses to watch it because she feels like she's jinxing them, and they always fall when she watches. I'm like, who cares?
You're not jinxing anything.
I mean, she cried when Smarty Jones missed the Triple Crown. I go, what's your problem? He's going home to eat a carrot. He could care less. Turn the page. But I mean, but maybe for the All-Star game, this would work, because that's always been my belief for the figure skating at the Olympics. You want to promote the greatest skating ever. I mean, like incredible concentration, performance, elegance, but I mean flawless execution. If you put big jagged blades sticking out of the ice, I mean, falling, there's a severe penalty.
Oh, for sure there is.
Right?
Yes.
So maybe if you make the fastest skater thing, where who's the fastest? Yeah, have an obstacle. Go have a moat. Flames.
Moat. You got to leap over
flames.
Something.
A medieval knight there with a sword.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Make it the fastest skater in an obstacle course.
I agree with that.
Now you're on to something.
I agree. It's actually a good idea. Like, we're laughing about it, but it's good. That's what the NBA does, kind of where they go through the maze and you shoot the thing, the old chest pass and whatever. Yeah, like just having guys skate, that's stupid. You have to have, it's like a horse racing in Britain, Brian. The horses jump over they jump over the bridge. They jump over the moat. They do all sorts of crazy stuff. Horses. I like it.
We're slowly but surely we're going to try to change the game on the Hockey Betting Podcast. All right, buddy. We'll talk Friday. Have a good one.
You too, buddy.
Hey, folks, this is Brian Blessing. Hope you're enjoying the Hockey Betting Podcast. We have a couple chuckles, try to get you a lot of winners. Hey, we hope you like what you're hearing. And if you do, hit the subscribe button and give us a review, give us a rating. Most importantly, enjoy the hockey and keep coming back to the Hockey Betting Podcast.
The handicapping and sports odds information contained on this podcast is for entertainment purposes only. Please confirm the wagering regulations in your jurisdiction, as they vary from state to state, province to province, and country to country. Using this information to contravene any law or statute is prohibited. The podcast is not associated with, nor is it endorsed by any professional or collegiate league, association, or team. This podcast does not target and is not intended for an audience under the age of 18. If you think that you have a gambling addiction, stop this podcast now and please seek help.
Gambling and betting on sports is a form of entertainment and should be about having a good time. But when done excessively, it may negatively affect other areas of a person's life, such as their physical and mental health, school or work performance, finances, and/or interpersonal relationships. At BetChrisCanada.net and the Hockey Betting Podcast, we're concerned about the addiction that gambling may cause, and for this reason, we encourage everyone to practice responsible gambling, an approach to gambling that helps you ensure that it remains an enjoyable activity. Here are the main principles of responsible gambling. Don't think of gambling as a way to make money. Always gamble with money that you can afford to lose. Set limits and stick to them. Never chase losses. Don't gamble when you're depressed or upset, and create a healthy balance. Always be aware of how much time you spend gambling or thinking about gambling, and do not allow gambling to cause you to miss out on time with family and friends or time spent on other activities you enjoy. By following these guidelines, gambling can be a good time and great entertainment. If you feel at any time that your gambling is taking away from important areas of your life, is causing you stress or depression, or is leading to financial losses that are beyond your control, please reach out for help. Learn more at responsiblegambling.org.